You already know the feeling. Someone talks over you in a meeting. Someone takes credit for your work. Someone pushes your boundaries, and you let them. And the worst part? You smiled. You stayed quiet. You told yourself you were being the bigger person. You weren't. You were being the easier target. Here is the truth that Machiavelli understood 500 years ago, a truth they will never teach you in school and never print on a motivational poster. The world does not reward goodness. It rewards power, not cruelty, not rage, not noise, power. The silent, cold, calculated kind that makes people think 3 times before they test you. The kind that doesn't beg for respect because it commands it without saying a single word. Most men walk through life reacting. Someone disrespects them. They either explode or they swallow it. Both are losing moves. The man who explodes shows you his weakness. The man who swallows it trains people to keep feeding him disrespect. Neither is strength. Real strength is the man who sees the move before it happens and positions himself so that the move never comes at all. That is what we are building today. Not a louder version of you, not an angrier version, a colder, sharper, completely untouchable version. Comment the word untouchable right now if you are ready to never be walked on again. Let's begin. The first law: never let them know your next move. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince as a warning. He wrote it as a manual, a cold, precise, unapologetic blueprint for how power actually works in the real world. Not how we wish it worked, not how our mothers told us it worked, but how it truly, ruthlessly operates when the doors are closed and the masks come off. And the very first lesson buried inside that manual is this: the moment people can predict you, they can control you. The moment they can read you, they can manipulate you. And the moment they can manipulate you, you have already lost, before the game even started. Most people are completely transparent. They wear their emotions on their face, their ambitions in their words, and their fears in their hesitation. They announce their plans before they execute them. They seek validation before they've even taken the first step. They telegraph every move like an open book left on a park bench, available to anyone willing to pick it up and read it. And people do read it. Trust that. Your rivals read it. Your competitors read it. Even the people sitting across from you at dinner read it. They study you more than you study yourself, and they use what they find. The untouchable man operates differently. He moves in silence. He builds in the dark. He lets his results speak long after the moment has passed. He never reveals the full picture, not to friends, not to allies, not even to himself in moments of weakness. He understands that mystery is armor, unpredictability is a weapon, and silence, deliberate, disciplined, strategic silence, is the loudest signal of power you can send in any room. When you stop explaining yourself, stop justifying your decisions, and stop feeding people access to your inner world, something shifts. They stop taking you for granted. They start watching you carefully. They start wondering. And a man who makes others wonder has already taken the dominant position without throwing a single punch. Drop a comment right now. My silence is my power. Let them feel that energy in the comments section. Number 3, the predator mindset. Stop being prey. There are 2 types of people in this world: those who set the terms and those who accept them. Those who define the frame and those who live inside it. Those who are studied and those who do the studying. And if you have spent any significant portion of your life feeling frustrated, overlooked, disrespected, or constantly drained by the people around you, I need you to hear this clearly and without comfort. You have been living as prey in a world full of predators. Not because you are weak, not because you are stupid, but because nobody ever sat you down and told you how the game actually works. Predators do not announce themselves. They do not walk into a room and declare their intentions. They observe, they assess, they identify the path of least resistance, and then they take it. every single time. And the path of least resistance in any social environment is always the person who gives too much too soon, who explains themselves without being asked, who tolerates behavior they should have shut down the first time it appeared. That person becomes the designated target, not out of malice necessarily, but out of pure, cold, human nature. Power flows toward those who hold it and away from those who leak it. The predator mindset is not about becoming cruel. It is not about becoming heartless or turning into a man who destroys everything around him. That is not power, that is chaos. And chaos is just another form of weakness, wearing a dramatic costume. The predator mindset is about becoming deeply, uncomfortably aware of every dynamic in every room you enter. It is about knowing who wants something from you, who respects you, who is performing respect while quietly calculating your vulnerabilities. It is about reading the subtext beneath every conversation, every compliment, every favor offered without a clear reason. Nothing is random in human behavior. Every move has a motive. And the man who understands that, who truly internalizes it down to his bones, stops being surprised by betrayal, manipulation, and disrespect. He anticipated it. He already prepared for it. He already positioned himself 3 steps ahead. You are not here to be hunted. You are here to be the one doing the watching. Shift the mindset right now and comment, "I see every move." Because from this point forward, you do. Number 4, the power of withdrawal. Make them come to you. One of the most underestimated weapons in the arsenal of power is one that costs you nothing to use, requires no skill to deploy, and yet devastates more completely than any argument, any confrontation, or any display of force ever could. It is withdrawal. Strategic, deliberate, ice-cold withdrawal. And most people will never use it, not because they don't know about it, but because their ego won't allow it. Because withdrawal requires you to resist the most deeply human urge there is, the urge to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged. And that urge, left uncontrolled, will betray you every single time. Here is what nobody tells you about attention. Attention is currency. And like all currency, its value is entirely determined by its scarcity. The man who is always available is worth nothing. The man who is always responding, always present, always eager to engage, he has handed over his power without even realizing it. He has told the world, without using a single word, that his time has no value, that his presence requires no earning, and that anyone who wants access to him can simply reach out and take it. And they will. They will take it, use it, and discard it, because that is what people do with things that cost them nothing. The man who withdraws strategically operates on an entirely different frequency. When he goes quiet, people notice. When he becomes less available, his presence becomes more valuable. When he stops chasing conversations, validations, reactions, something almost psychological happens in the people around him. They start moving toward him. They start questioning what changed. They start working to recapture his attention, because suddenly his attention feels like something worth having. This is not manipulation for its own sake. This is the fundamental law of human desire. We want what pulls away from us, and we lose interest in what chases us. It has always been this way. Machiavelli knew it. The Stoics knew it. And now you know it. Stop being the one who always reaches out first. Stop being the one who always responds immediately. Stop flooding people with your presence until your absence means nothing. Let them wonder, let them wait, let them come to you. Power does not chase, it attracts. Comment right now, power attracts, weakness chases. Burn that into your mind permanently. Number 5, emotional armor. The man who cannot be provoked, cannot be defeated. Let me tell you exactly how people break you. Not with force, not with logic, not with superior intelligence or overwhelming strategy. They break you with emotion. They poke at your pride. They challenge your ego. They say something just sharp enough, just personal enough, just precisely aimed enough to pull you out of your controlled state and drag you down into theirs. And the moment you react, the moment your face changes, your voice rises, your composure cracks even slightly, you have handed them the single most valuable thing they could ever take from you: your control. And a man without control is a man without power. Full stop. This is the weapon most people never see coming, because it doesn't look like an attack. It looks like an offhand comment. It looks like a subtle disrespect. It looks like someone questioning your decisions in front of others, or dismissing your opinion with a smirk, or testing your patience in small calculated doses until you finally snap. And when you snap, they win. Not because they were right, not because they were stronger, but because they successfully moved you. They proved that they have access to something inside you, a button, a trigger, a raw nerve, and that with the right amount of pressure applied at the right moment, they can make you dance. That is not a small thing. That is a devastating vulnerability. And if you do not seal it, people will exploit it for the rest of your life. The Stoics understood this centuries before modern psychology gave it a name. Marcus Aurelius sat at the head of the most powerful empire on earth and wrote in his private journal about the discipline of remaining unmoved. Not unfeeling, unmoved. There is a profound difference between a man who feels nothing and a man who feels everything but reveals nothing. One is empty, the other is armored. The Stoic warrior does not kill his emotions. He governs them with the same iron discipline he would apply to any enemy on the battlefield. He decides what gets a reaction and what gets silence. He decides who earns his anger and who earns only his indifference. And indifference, deployed correctly, is the most psychologically crushing response you can give to someone who is trying to destabilize you. It tells them their move had no effect. It tells them their weapon missed. And it forces them back to the drawing board while you remain exactly where you were, composed, cold, and completely in control. Here is the practice. The next time someone says something designed to provoke you, do not respond immediately. Do not respond at all if possible. Let the silence stretch. Let the discomfort of that silence sit entirely with them. Take one breath and make a conscious decision. Is this person worth the energy of my reaction? In most cases, the answer is no. In all cases, the pause itself is power. The man who pauses before reacting signals to everyone watching that he is not ruled by impulse. He is ruled by intention. And a man ruled by intention is a man who cannot be weaponized against himself. Build the armor. Seal the triggers. Become the man that people cannot read, cannot provoke, and cannot move. Comment right now: unshakable, unmovable, unconquerable. Say it like you mean it, because from this point forward, you do. Number 6, the art of reading people. See everything, reveal nothing. The most dangerous man in any room is never the loudest one. It is never the one making the boldest claims, throwing around the heaviest words, or performing confidence like a theater actor desperate for applause. The most dangerous man in any room is the one sitting quietly in the corner, watching, processing, cataloging every micro-expression, every nervous habit, every contradiction between what a person says and what their body silently confesses. He is the one who leaves that room knowing more about every person in it than they know about themselves. And that knowledge, cold, precise, and completely concealed, is the foundation of unbreakable power. Most people walk into social situations focused entirely on themselves. How do I come across? What do I say next? Do they like me? Do they respect me? And because their attention is turned inward, they miss everything happening outward. They miss the slight tension in someone's jaw when a certain topic is raised. They miss the way a person's eyes move before they lie. They miss the subtle power plays disguised as casual conversation, the territorial behavior dressed up as friendliness, the insecurity hiding behind aggression, the fear hiding behind arrogance. They miss the entire hidden architecture of human interaction, because they are too busy managing their own performance to study anyone else's. This is why they keep getting surprised. This is why people catch them off guard, manipulate them, and use them, because they were never truly paying attention. Machiavelli was fundamentally a student of human nature before he was anything else. His entire philosophy was built on one ruthless foundation: people are predictable. Not because they are simple, but because they are driven by the same core forces, regardless of how sophisticated their mask becomes. Self-interest, fear, desire, pride, vanity, greed. These forces operate in every human being without exception, including you and including me. And once you train yourself to identify which force is driving a person in any given moment, you gain something extraordinary. You gain the ability to anticipate their next move before they make it. You gain the ability to position yourself in the conversation, in the negotiation, in the relationship with complete strategic awareness while they are still operating on instinct and emotion. Start practicing this immediately. Walk into your next social situation and make a silent decision. Tonight, I observe more than I speak. Watch how people position themselves physically. Notice who seeks approval and from whom. Listen for what people complain about repeatedly, because chronic complaints reveal deep insecurities and desperate desires. Notice who interrupts and who allows themselves to be interrupted, because that dynamic alone tells you the entire power hierarchy of any group. Watch what people do when they think nobody is looking, because that is when the mask slips and the real person surfaces. These are not small details. These are blueprints. And the man who can read blueprints while everyone else is staring at the wallpaper holds an advantage so profound and so invisible that it cannot be challenged or taken away. And here is the other half of this equation, the half that most people neglect entirely. While you are learning to see everything, you must simultaneously become impossible to read yourself. Neutralize your facial expressions in high-stakes moments. Control the pace and tone of your voice, regardless of what you are feeling internally. Never volunteer information that was not specifically requested. Never confirm or deny more than the situation absolutely demands. Let people construct their own narrative about who you are, because a man shrouded in controlled mystery commands far more psychological real estate in people's minds than a man who has laid himself completely bare. You become a question they cannot stop trying to answer. And people are irresistibly, helplessly drawn to questions they cannot solve. See everything. Show nothing. Know everyone. Let no one truly know you. Comment right now. I watch, I learn, I win. That is the mindset of the man who never gets caught off guard again. Number 7. Controlled aggression. The lion and the fox. Machiavelli wrote something that made the entire civilized world deeply uncomfortable when they first read it, and still makes them uncomfortable today. He said that a ruler must know how to use both the nature of the lion and the nature of the fox. The lion to frighten the wolves, the fox to recognize the traps. And that a man who is only a lion is a fool, and a man who is only a fox is a coward. True power, the kind that endures, the kind that commands without begging, the kind that makes people think very carefully before they consider crossing you, lives in the precise, disciplined combination of both. And mastering that combination is what separates the man who is merely feared from the man who is genuinely untouchable. Most men default to one or the other and call it a personality. The aggressive man leads with the lion every time, confrontational, loud, quick to escalate, always ready to make every situation a battlefield. And while this may appear powerful on the surface, it is in reality deeply predictable and dangerously exhausting. When you are always aggressive, people learn your pattern. They learn how to provoke you deliberately, to throw you off balance. They learn how to make you the villain in every room, simply by poking you until you roar. Your aggression becomes their instrument. And the man who can be played like an instrument is not powerful. He is a puppet with the illusion of teeth. On the other end of the spectrum, the purely calculating man, the one who is always diplomatic, always measured, always retreating behind strategy, and never willing to draw a hard line, signals something equally dangerous. He signals that there are no real consequences for crossing him, that no matter what you do, he will absorb it, analyze it, and respond with more words. And people will cross him endlessly. Because the world needs to know that beneath the strategy, beneath the calm, beneath the composed exterior, there is something that bites. This is what controlled aggression means. It does not mean losing your temper. It means making a deliberate, calculated decision at specific moments to let people feel the weight of your displeasure in a way that is impossible to misinterpret. It means drawing lines that are not suggestions. It means responding to certain violations, not with argument or explanation, but with a sudden, ice-cold shift in your energy that communicates one thing with absolute clarity. You have crossed into territory where consequences now exist. No shouting required, no lengthy explanation necessary. The shift itself is the message. And because it is rare, because it only surfaces when truly warranted, it lands with 10 times the psychological impact of a man who is aggressive all the time. Scarcity creates power. Even in this, the fox dimension runs alongside this always. While the lion in you establishes consequence, the fox in you is reading the landscape. The fox is asking, what does this person actually want? What are they afraid of losing? What are they trying to hide behind this challenge? What is the smartest way to navigate this situation so that I win not just today, but 3 moves from now? The fox never reacts. The fox responds. The fox understands that the most elegant victories are the ones that leave your opponent confused about whether they even lost at all. Because when they finally realize what happened, you are already gone, positioned, protected, and completely unthreatened by whatever they choose to do next. Train both, starve neither. Know precisely when the situation calls for the silence of the fox and when it demands the presence of the lion. Know when to smile and maneuver, and when to go completely still and let the temperature in the room drop 3 degrees with nothing but your energy alone. That shift, that ability to move between intelligence and authority, between patience and force, between warmth and ice, is what makes a man genuinely, deeply, psychologically impossible to handle. He cannot be predicted. He cannot be categorized. And a man who cannot be categorized cannot be defeated. Comment right now, lion's will, fox's mind, because that is exactly what you are building inside yourself today. Number 8, the architecture of respect. How to make people treat you differently starting today. Respect is not given. Everyone says this, and almost nobody truly understands what it means in practice. They think it means you have to earn respect through achievement, through status, through accumulating enough external proof of your worth that the world is eventually forced to acknowledge you. And while achievement matters, make no mistake, results command attention. That is not the deepest mechanism through which respect is generated in the raw, unfiltered psychology of human interaction. Respect, at its most fundamental level, is trained. You train people how to treat you through every response you give, every boundary you enforce, every behavior you tolerate, and every violation you allow to pass without consequence. You are constantly, whether you realize it or not, teaching the people in your life exactly what they can and cannot do to you. And if you do not like how people are treating you right now, you need to look directly at what you have been teaching them. This is not a comfortable truth. It is far easier to frame disrespect as something that happens to you, something imposed by cruel people or an unfair world. And yes, there are genuinely cruel people, and the world is genuinely unfair. But the man who understands power does not spend a single second of energy resenting the aggressor. He spends that energy examining his own architecture. He asks, where did I signal weakness? Where did I accept something I should have refused the very first time? Where did I laugh off something that should have been met with stillness and silence. Because that first moment of tolerance, that very first time you let something slide that your instincts told you to address, that is the moment the dynamic was set. And every subsequent interaction was simply built on top of that foundation. The architecture of respect is constructed from several non-negotiable materials. The first is consistency. You cannot enforce a boundary twice and abandon it the third time without destroying its entire structural integrity. People do not respect inconsistent lines. They probe them. They test them repeatedly until they find the moment your resolve collapses, and they will find it if it exists, because human beings are unconsciously relentless boundary testers. The second material is consequence. A boundary without consequence is simply a preference, and nobody is obligated to honor your preferences. When a line is crossed, something must change. It does not need to be dramatic. It does not need to be announced. But the person who crossed it must feel a tangible shift in your availability, in your warmth, in your engagement. That communicates with unmistakable clarity that their behavior produced a result they did not want. That is how consequences train future behavior. The third material is self-worth that requires no external confirmation. This is perhaps the most critical and the most difficult to build. Because the man who secretly needs people to like him, to approve of him, to validate his decisions and confirm his value, that man will always find reasons to let violations slide. He will rationalize tolerance as maturity. He will dress up his fear of conflict as wisdom. He will tell himself he is choosing peace when in reality he is choosing comfort over dignity. And dignity, once surrendered repeatedly, becomes incredibly difficult to reclaim. The man who respects himself at a cellular level, who genuinely does not require your approval to feel whole, operates with a completely different gravity. He can afford to walk away. He can afford the silence. He can afford to let relationships dissolve rather than compromise the standard he has set for how he is treated. And that willingness, that genuine, unperformed willingness to lose rather than lower his standard, is what makes people treat him differently. Not out of fear alone, out of a deep, instinctive recognition that this man knows his worth and will not negotiate it downward for anyone. Start today, not tomorrow, not after you have done more work on yourself, or achieved more, or become more ready. Today. Identify one dynamic in your life where the architecture is broken, where you have been tolerating something beneath your standard, and make one quiet, firm, non-negotiable adjustment. Do not announce it. Do not explain it. Simply change your behavior and let the shift speak for itself. That one adjustment, made with genuine internal conviction, will ripple outward in ways you cannot fully predict. Comment right now, "My standards are non-negotiable." Say it because you mean it, not because it sounds powerful. Number 9, the long game. Patience is the ultimate power. Everything we have built together in this conversation, the silence, the withdrawal, the emotional armor, the predator mindset, the architecture of respect, all of it collapses without this one final internal weapon. Without this, every strategy becomes a short-term performance that eventually cracks under pressure. Without this, you are simply a man wearing the costume of power rather than embodying it at the deepest possible level. That weapon is patience. Not the passive, resigned, waiting for things to get better kind of patience that weak men confuse with wisdom. The active, predatory, ice-cold patience of a man who has a plan, who trusts the plan completely, and who refuses to be rushed by emotion, by ego, or by the desperate human need to see results immediately. That kind of patience is not a virtue. It is a weapon of absolute devastation. Machiavelli understood that timing is everything in the architecture of power. He watched rulers destroy decades of carefully constructed influence in a single impulsive moment. A moment where emotion overrode strategy, where the need for immediate gratification outweighed the discipline of the long game. And he documented it with ruthless precision. because the pattern repeated itself endlessly across every generation, every culture, every level of power. Human beings are fundamentally impatient creatures. We want resolution now. We want acknowledgement now. We want the respect, the recognition, the revenge, the reward now. And that impatience is exploited by every truly powerful player who has ever existed. They wait. They let you move first. They let you reveal your hand in your urgency, while they sit perfectly still, reading everything you just showed them, and positioning accordingly. The long game requires a quality that modern culture has almost entirely destroyed: the ability to sit comfortably with an unresolved situation. To look at a dynamic that is not yet in your favor and feel no panic, no urgency, no compulsive need to force a resolution before the moment is right. This is profoundly difficult because unresolved situations create psychological tension, and psychological tension demands relief. Most people relieve that tension by acting prematurely, by having the conversation too soon, by making the move before the position is strong enough, by showing their cards simply to end the discomfort of holding them. And every time they do this, they hand the advantage to whoever was patient enough to wait them out. The man playing the long game thinks in seasons, not moments. He understands that the person disrespecting him today is building a debt, and that debt will be collected, not in a dramatic confrontation driven by wounded pride, but at the precise moment where the collection causes maximum impact and minimum risk. He understands that the opportunity he cannot access today will become accessible if he spends the intervening time building leverage, building skill, building positioning that makes him impossible to ignore and dangerous to oppose. He understands that reputation is built in years and destroyed in seconds, so he guards every action with the awareness that he is always, in every interaction, either adding to or subtracting from a long-term account that compounds with time. This is the mindset that separates men who flash with intensity and burn out quickly from men who build something so solid, so deep, and so enduring that the world has no choice but to eventually organize itself around them. They are not louder, they are not more aggressive. They are simply playing a game with a longer horizon than anyone around them. And in a world of impulsive, reactive, emotionally driven people, the patient man is not just powerful, he is virtually unstoppable. Comment right now, "I play to win forever." Because that is exactly the game you are now committed to playing. Number 10, the final decree: you are either untouchable or you are not. Choose. Everything ends here, and everything begins here. Because knowledge without decision is just entertainment, and you did not come to this channel to be entertained. You came because something inside you already knew that the life you have been living, the version of you that has been tolerating, shrinking, reacting and waiting, that version has an expiration date, and that date is today. Machiavelli did not write for the masses. He wrote for the few, the rare category of man willing to look at reality without flinching, without dressing it up in comfortable lies, without needing the world to be fair before he decided to win inside it. That man is not born. He is built, deliberately, painfully, one decision at a time, one boundary enforced at a time, one moment of choosing discipline over impulse at a time. And every single section of what you heard today was one brick in that construction. The silence, the withdrawal, the emotional armor, the predator awareness, the lion and the fox, the architecture of respect, the patience of a man playing a game with no expiration date. These are not concepts, they are tools. And tools only have value in the hands of someone willing to actually use them. So here is the only question that matters now. Not whether this was powerful, not whether you agreed with every word. The only question is, what are you going to do differently, starting from the moment this ends? Because the world will test you tomorrow. Someone will push. Someone will assume. Someone will probe your boundaries with the quiet confidence of a person who has done it before and faced no consequence. And in that moment, everything you absorb today will either crystallize into action or dissolve into memory. The choice, as it has always been, belongs entirely to you. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be respected, and now you know exactly how that respect is built, maintained, and if necessary, ruthlessly reclaimed. Walk out of this video differently than you walked in. Carry yourself like a man who has made a permanent, unshakable decision about how he will and will not be treated for the rest of his life. Comment right now, "I am the Machiavellian mind," because that is exactly who you have become. If this series changed something in you, like this video, subscribe to Machiavellian Mind and turn on notifications, because what comes next will go even deeper. The game is just beginning.